I took my husband to see a movie for our anniversary and ended up in the parking lot with a stranger. It was the best decision I've ever made. My husband Daniel and I decided to actually leave the house and go see a movie for our 10th anniversary. Daniel picked this dumb comedy, and we sat in the back row eating popcorn and laughing at the stupid jokes. While we walked to our car after the movie, I was doing an impression of the main character, and Daniel said, "That's the worst accent I've ever heard." I shoved him, and we were both cracking up. Then we heard these loud popping sounds. Was that fireworks? Daniel stopped walking and looked back at the theater. I heard it too. Suddenly, people started pouring out of the entrance and screaming. Daniel grabbed my hand and pulled me toward our car. People were running everywhere, and cars were peeling out of the parking lot without looking. Someone slammed into my shoulder so hard I almost fell. Keys. Where are the keys? Daniel was patting his pockets and his hands were shaking. I looked down to help him search, and that's when I saw the kid. He was on the ground between two cars with blood all over his shirt trying to push himself up. A man in a suit ran past him and didn't even look down. A woman jumped over his legs to get to her car. Daniel found the keys and unlocked our car. Get in. I didn't move. I was watching people run right past this kid like he was invisible. Jenna, get in the car right now. I ran toward the kid instead. The kid was maybe 19. I dropped down next to him and lifted his shirt. The wound was on his side and bleeding bad. I pressed both hands against it as hard as I could, and he screamed. "I'm sorry. I have to keep pressure on it." Daniel was standing over us. "We have to leave right now." A car backed up so close to him he had to jump out of the way. "Call 911. He pulled out his phone, and I heard him telling the operator where we were while more cars drove away around us. Not one person stopped to help. The kid grabbed my wrist. "Please, it hurts." His voice was so quiet I could barely hear him. "Help is coming, okay? You need to stay awake." Daniel crouched next to me. "The ambulance is coming. We should wait by the street where it's safer." I glared at him. "I'm not leaving him alone." Daniel stood back up and looked around like someone might come help, but the parking lot was almost empty now. The kid started crying. "Where are they?" I told him to look at me and focus on my voice. His eyes kept trying to close. Daniel knelt back down, and this time he put his hands over mine on the wound. "Stay with us, buddy." His hands were shaking, but he didn't leave. We finally heard sirens heading towards us just as the kid closed his eyes. "No, wake up." I pressed harder, and Daniel did too. The ambulance whipped into the parking lot, and the paramedics immediately jumped out and took over. They loaded him on a stretcher and drove away. I stood there with blood all over my hands, staring at the empty space where he'd been until Daniel pulled me against him. A police officer walked over and asked if we saw what happened. Daniel told him we just heard it and found the kid like this. The officer asked if anyone else had stopped to help. "Just us," I replied quietly. He nodded like that didn't surprise him, wrote down our information, and told us we were free to go. Daniel drove us home in complete silence. 3 days later, my phone rang. "Is this Jenna?" The voice was young. "Yeah, who's this?" He said, "This is Aiden, the kid from the parking lot." I sat down. "Oh my God, are you okay?" "I will be because of you." He got quiet for a second. "I need to tell you something. I was at the movies with 4 of my best friends when the shooting started. We all ran to the parking lot together, but I tripped and fell. I yelled for them to wait, but they just kept running." His voice cracked. "They got in the car and drove away. They just left me there. I didn't know what to say. You didn't even know me, and you stayed. Thank you for not leaving me." He hung up. I still don't know if staying makes us good people, or if it just means everyone else is worse than I ever wanted to believe.